What's happening? Hey guys and gals, Brian Tong here and welcome to the Apple Byte. It's all the good and bad inside the world of Apple, and I just enjoyed a cranberry walnut cookie for lunch. Now we start off with really the story of the week from 9 to 5 Mac, who's been all over it lately, and images of what they claim to be the back panels for the next-gen iPhone, and there are a lot of details that can be pulled from this if they're in fact the real deal. Now these potential images show the black and white versions with a larger portion of the backing made of metal. You'll see the slight difference in color and material could be a stylistic choice or the current prototype design. But it also looks like the metal antenna band from the 4 and 4S design has now been embedded into the panel. Now let's take a look at some more booty shots. You'll also see the rumored smaller dot connector is part of the case design with newly designed speaker grills, and the headphone jack looks like it's been moved to the bottom as well. There's also a microphone between the rear camera and flash to possibly capture better audio. 9 to 5 Mac also has an image of the frame that shows a space for a physical home button, so it should still be there. And according to their sources, the frame is the same width as the current iPhone, but just longer to accommodate the larger 4-inch screen with the reported 1136 by 640 resolution. Now, a full frontal image of what's claimed to be the next-gen black iPhone also shows the FaceTime camera has moved and will be centered above the earpiece. And the Cydia blog possibly confirms this after they received an image from a tipster of what they believe is a schematic blueprint of the iPhone 5 that jives with the parts and panels we just talked about. Now, we told you last week we don't expect to see the iPhone announced at WWDC, but who cares? We already kind of know what it looks like. Or do we? In more Apple rumor news, a report from Boy Genius Report says Apple is planning to demo a brand new version of the Apple TV next week at WWDC. They report it will be much more feature complete, and it's the same one that will run on Apple's upcoming HD TV. Now that sounds a little like a stretch, but it's reported that Apple has also been trying to court third-party manufacturers to make accessories that are compatible with the new Apple TV OS and their new TV. Now the Big A is also ready to unveil their new Maps app. Boy Genius Report says it has a new user interface and a brand new navigation bar in order to see the 3D maps. You'll just need to peel back the bottom corner like you do with the current maps to access the button. We'd also like to thank them for the blurry top secret spy pictures, because now I know what it's like to have my mom's eyeballs. Also at this year's D10 conference, Apple CEO Tim Cook was the headline speaker, and there were a lot of nuggets that came out of it. Tim didn't say Apple was working on a TV, but with the increased success of Apple TV sales, he did say this is an area of intense interest for us. We're going to keep pulling the string and see where it takes us. So, they're making a TV out of string. Now, Cook also talked Siri and said it has proven that people want to relate to the phone in a different way. People will be pleased with where Apple is taking Siri, and they are doubling down on it, which I hope they do. When asked if Apple will be less secret with him at the helm, Cook said there will be incredible things coming out, and Apple is going to double down on secrecy on products. See, I think he meant starting this week after the recent iPhone parts and schematic leaks. And finally, Tim reflected on Steve Jobs and said he never really felt the weight of trying to be Steve. It's not his goal in life, and he's focused on being a great CEO for Apple. But he offered some insight as to how SJ's mind worked.
But he was the best person in the world about doing this. He would flip on something so fast that you would forget that he was the person that was taking the 180 polar position on it the day before. I mean,
give me an example.
He
did that here on the stage.
He did that here on the stage many times.
But it was an art. And you would never know that he thought the opposite.
We actually have videotape, but go ahead.
So you've got proof. I saw it daily. I saw it daily, and this is a gift because things do change, and it takes courage to change and courage to say, I'm now wrong. Maybe I was right before, but maybe not. Maybe I was never right. It takes courage to do that, and I think he had that.
See, that sounds just like my boss, and if I'm no longer here for future episodes of the Apple Byte, you'll know why. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show. Send us your emails to the applebyte@cnet.com, and we'll get to as many as we can. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian Tong. We'll catch you guys next time for another Bite of the Apple.